You're right, YouTube. Big Mike without further ado, retro. Been away for a little while. The whole world's gone mad since I've been away. Um, so there's quite a bit of to talk about in this video. Revival 2020, absolutely brilliant. Really good events. Coronavirus and the lockdown, and the pickups before, during, and up to this point, I suppose. So without further ado, let's get on with it. Cheers. Right, so basically we went to go to Revival. Marcus drove up. So basically me and Marcus went up to Old Schools and Binties on the Friday night. So it was great to spend an evening with Old School Binty and Animal. Absolutely fantastic evening. As many of you seen, was sort of a bit of a almost live feed of what was going on while we were there. Lots of drinking, lots of laughs, and lots of fun. Absolutely brilliant evening. Really, really cool. It's good to spend time with friends. Like, real good host, Old School and Binty. Absolutely fantastic. Really look after us every time we go there. And we were drinking to the wee hours of the morning. It was absolutely fantastic. So basically, after a fantastic night at Old School and Minties, we got up in the morning. I mean, we'd only gone to bed in the morning, sort of drinking all through to the wee hours, and then we sort of went to a usual haunt that we sort of go to for a breakfast in the morning. Soak up the alcohol a little bit. They were sort of shut. They weren't very good. They weren't very good the first time we went there, to be honest. So we discovered a new haunt actually, which was spot on. So we got a nice dirty, greasy breakfast, soaked up the alcohol, and then we made our way to Revival. What can you say? Absolutely fantastic event. Really, really good. The one thing that was the one downer about Revival was that the big man himself, Craig, he wasn't there. Unfortunately, he was ill, as I'm sure everyone knows. He's on the mend now, and he's appeared in Dana's stream, and thankfully he's getting better and everything. But it was a bit strange that the event was going on, and the big man who set it up, he wasn't there. But he was sorely missed. But his team done an absolutely fantastic job. His wife and the rest of the team done absolutely really, really fantastic day, and I've got to say it's one of the most enjoyable revivals. A really good venue as well. The one problem there was with the venue, which wasn't too much of a problem. I mean, Marcus dropped me off, and he drove the car down, parked it down the road slightly. So was the parking, but as Craig said, addressed himself, he said that basically, if he was well, he would have arranged parking with some of the a yard down the road or something, and everyone may have had to pay £1 or something. But obviously, because he's got to put his health first, he was unable to. That was one of the final stages that he had to do. So next time, parking should be a lot better. We'll be looking forward to the next Revival. Hopefully that'll be on in time, and as we're aware at the moment, it still should be all going well. I believe that's supposed to be in November. But back to this Revival, it was absolutely really, really, really good day. We sort of all congregated in one of the sort of side rooms, the sort of leisure rooms. Me and several other tubers, everyone was in there. Me myself, Old School, Mark, Burnt Out Culture. Obviously, Dana was stalling. Rob, 2E, just absolutely everyone. I'll do a big list of everyone. First of all, I'd like to apologise if I've seemed a little off. I didn't really, I didn't think I was coming as off, but I was actually in quite a bit of pain with my back. It was really sort of playing up all of the way up to the event, and I was in a bit of an agony with my back, but still tried to have as good a time as I could, and I really sort of had a good laugh and loads of beers, and I actually bought a few things, and we had a few gifts as well. So, like I say, a fantastic event. I went the Saturday and the Sunday. Most people went the Saturday. The Saturday was just about right. The traffic was about right, but as I always do, is Saturday I go for the social, basically. Go there, drink, suss it out, see what's about and everything, and then the Sunday I'll sort of get all me do all my buys. Try and get a bit of a bargain and everything, and do what you got to do. So right, so I suppose we better go into the sort of. We'll start off with the gifts that I got. So basically, I've done a deal with Mark. Me and Mark are always in contact, speak every week, same as Old School. You know, we speak every year, but then Dana and Tootie as well. Like, you know, we're always gassing to each other. But I had a deal done with Mark, sort of mark out some Mega Drive games that, you know, mates rate is a good price for him and everything. And he said that he'd like to gift me some films, because one thing that me and Mark have a sort of side passion that me and Mark have got into, is you know, you're always collecting something, aren't you? And I find that Mark's got a very sort of similar taste to what I sort of like to collect. So we sort of got into collecting Blu-ray steelbooks, basically. But he had a couple of DVDs, and he said that, you know, he knows that I appreciate them, and would, you know, he'd like to gift them to me. So I thought, absolutely fantastic, Mark, much appreciated. So the first one is Big Trouble in Little China. These are DVDs, but they're much appreciated, and I've got some special plastic bags, like 2 UK cellophane bags that everything goes into, and I should be bagging these up after the video. So, and the next one is a really cool classic film as well, which is Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Really cool film. Just like they're just like lovely, aren't they? These just any steelbooks, I just think they look great. They really do. So I'll show this one a bit more as well. So, you know, they really sort of do. It's sort of the premier edition of what you want. I know you can get these sort of, you know, several £100 box sets and all that of films, and that's just way out of my league. I mean, collecting these Blu-ray steelbooks, they can be sort of ridiculous money as well, and as Old School pointed out to me, they need a bit of maintenance. You know, you need to keep them in tip-top condition. I've got a lot of, you know, like the game boxes. I've got some of those boxes for me, Blu-rays, the sort of higher-end ones. And then, like I say, I've got a lot of the plastic sleeves as well. In fact, not as very interested in a plastic sleeve, is it? But I think Stu UK keeps all his stuff and things like this. So I've got a couple hundred of these. So everything will be getting put in those, and then it upgraded at some point to, you know, maybe some plastic box protectors for the sort of more expensive ones. Right, next up is a gift again from, I mentioned him earlier, absolute legend that is, Dana to his mates. Yeah, he's been doing absolutely brilliant. So he's gifted me this. This is a game on the Spectrum Next. This is actually my first physical Spectrum Next game. And I've got my Spectrum Next now, so I'll be chuffed to try this out. I've had the Spectrum Next a week, and I was scared to set it up because I'm not very good on PCs and things. I like them very old school, like 90s up to 90s, and you know, so I was a little bit scared to set it up and update it and everything. I've updated it now. I've set it up slightly. I've got to do a lot more. I've got to get it online. I need to get that Nextel going. That looks absolutely superb, so can't wait to get that going. But yeah, so Dave's basically gifted me this, as long as I promised him that I wouldn't sell my Nex, because the Nex have been going for absolutely crazy money on eBay at the moment. I believe the one I've got, the accelerated one's going anywhere from between 600 and 750. But there's only 3,000 of them, about 3,200 in existence at the moment. So I suppose there's a lot of people that wanted them that didn't get them. They're going to do a second run, I'd imagine. I'm pretty sure they're going to do a second Kickstarter, because everyone's just got so much interest. Everyone's like, oh, I wish I got on the first Kickstarter, and they didn't. So they can definitely do a second run of them. I thought they were going to go sort of, you know, once they sort of ironed it out and got it all and got it sort of to production level, that they would have gone retail, but they apparently, I don't think they're ever going to go retail with it, so it's more of an enthusiast thing. So I say it's 3,200 something. I think it's slightly less than that, 3,200 in the first run. So you probably get the sort of similar to maybe I'd imagine between 3,000 and 5,000 on the second run, possibly, depending on how well it does. But it's a great little machine. It's I'd say it's anywhere sort of between the Spectrum and the Amiga. It's sort of in between that sort of level. Watching some of the demos and some of the stuff that the machine can do, it's mind blowing. I mean, to normal people, you know, the phone I'm filming on now can do much superior things, but if you're like me and you just think, oh, how's it doing that, and like, yeah, it's fantastic. And you know, I suppose you've got to be a bit of an enthusiast and a specky lover, like, you know. I'll always be Spectrum, like, you know, it's the first computer I ever had. And the Spectrum Next is just it is a real thing of beauty. I probably will be doing a few videos on it. You know, the more I get sort of working on it, I may show a bit of demos working on stuff and stuff. And I know, I think Mr. Bads has been turning his hands back to a bit of programming, which maybe I might get interested in again. I know he used to sort of spend a lot of time with my dad back in the day, sitting down like 10 print go to and all that, you know, sort of long hard sort of typing in programs, not really understanding what I'm typing in, but you know, it was interesting to see it work at the end, like draw a circle, make some. I actually used to make some. I used to make some text adventure games, and they were on disc, and it was really sort of poor effort, really, because most of like how to get to the next screen was like it would load in the next part. It wasn't like good programming or anything. It was just like a cheeky way of loading it in. Like, but it was, you know, I was impressed with it back in the day. I could get a draw a little bit and makes it, you know, a tank smashes through the wall and it makes a sort of tank sort of noise. But yeah, so it might turn my hand back to a bit of that. Maybe have a bit of a look at that. See if we can get a bit of understanding the old basic. So right, next we'll go on to the main pickups. Right, my first pickup at Revival was basically I already picked one of these at the Revival before, but I wanted to get the new IPS V2 screen. I believe my original one that I had was a 101 screen mod. When I seen the difference in picture quality between the 101 screen and the IPS V2, I basically just really wanted to get one of these. Also, this has got an amplified speaker, which I felt was a bit of an issue with my last one, is the speaker was a bit quiet. I've had to basically turn the brightness down on this for it to pick up on a camera, but it's got 10 levels of brightness, and it really is fantastic. So you can see there, Outrun running, and it really is fantastic. I love the Game Boy Advance. It's a great little console, especially in this handheld setup. I was really pleased to get this. The guy done me a deal at Revival again, but I believe actually Daz makes these at the moment. So Kona Steloro. So and I believe he does them quite a bit cheaper than sort of, most of the prices around. So if you go to Daz's channel, I don't know how to put links in the description and everything, or hit Daz up. I'm sure he'll make you one. And some of the ones that Daz is doing look fantastic. I think Daz is doing the amplified speaker, the same screen mod, and he's doing some sort of nicer shells than this. This is sort of the original shell, but he's doing some pretty funky shells on these. So, like I say, if you're interested in one of these, possibly your best bet is to hit Daz up. If not, get one off the guy that I got off at Revival. But like I say, the ones Daz is doing, they do look really, really nice. So, but really, really chuffed with this. I love it. I've already completed Double Dragon Advance, a fantastic game. If you've not played Double Dragon Advance, I believe that's the best version of Double Dragon on home release anyway. Even better than the sort of main original Double Dragon, that slows down and suffers a lot. But sort of a modern day take on Double Dragon. It's a mixture of levels of you know, Double Dragon and Double Dragon 2, if I'm correct, or I might be wrong on that. It may be mixture of levels of Double Dragon and original levels for the Game Boy Advance. So the Atari Lynx Double Dragon is pretty cool as well. But I would say the Double Dragon Advance on the GBA is absolutely fantastic. You won't find it at a cheap price, but play it on an Everdrive or get a knockoff Chinese car like I have. I thought I was buying the original. I even messaged him saying, "Is it original?" And he said, "Yeah." And when I switched it on, it started up with a hack intro. So it's never a good sign. So my other Revival pickups, for a man that was going there and trying not to spend any money, I still managed to spend quite a bit of money. So you know me. Anything with +3 discs, I've got to have it. I was looking for that was what I was mainly looking out for, some +3 box games. Unfortunately, there were no box games, but I did manage to pick up some loose discs, which is first of all is a compilation called Players Hot Shots. I've still got the stickers on them. I'll have to remove those. So this is Moving Target, Cobra Force, and Task Force. So I've got those. The second disc is Eagle's Nest, Street Cred Football, and Thing. So again, Eagle's Nest is a game I had back in the day. The other two I've not heard of. Thing, maybe that spring type thing. Thing Banks is back. I think I remember having. I don't think it was very good. And Konami Arcade Classics Collection, which is that one there, which has got Hypersports, Mikey, Green Beret, Shaolin Road, Jailbreak, and Nemesis. This actually went boxed on eBay recently for some pretty strong money, of £40 plus, maybe £60. I think I can't quite remember, but I haven't got it boxed. I've got it unboxed, but I was pleased to get it. Right, and my next pickup, or my final pickup that I got, a revival. Like I say, I was trying not to spend any money, but I saw this, and I know it's a great game, or it's supposed to be a great game. So it's also part of a sort of sub collection I would like to possibly do on the Super Nintendo. I'm probably about halfway to 3/4 of the way there to doing it, I suppose. Unless there's a lot more games I don't know about. But this game is usually goes for quite some money complete. I believe I would say in sort of in really good condition. And sort of the guy was saying to me about it can go for about 240 in this condition with a manual. Unfortunately, this was missing manual, and I've got to give a massive shout out to Nick at Vintage Gamer. The guy's an absolute legend. I'm dying to go to the shop and have a look. I always sort of buy stuff off him at Revival. He always does me a good deal. This was already a fantastic price. Was priced up, and I got him to knock quite a considerable bit amount off. He'd already offered me a rock bottom price, but he really did sort of go above and beyond with this one and sort me right out. And I had to sort of assure him that I wasn't going to sell it, and it was for my own collection, which it is. And it is Biker Mice from Mars on the Super Nintendo, and this is in really, really nice condition. This is one you don't see. I mean, in this condition, if this was complete with manual, like I say, around the 240 mark. In bad condition, these can go for like 160. And yeah, it was a great price that he did for me on this one. So, like I say, really, really happy to get this. Now I've just got to source some manual. And like I say, that you can see the condition's just absolutely lovely. It's all in there. It's all boxed. It's absolutely gorgeous. So now I shall put this in a nice 5mm box protector and add it to the collection. So that's absolutely superb. Yeah. So thanks very much, Nick at Vintage Gamer. If you all haven't met Nick, if you go to Revival and you see him there, obviously go there. In my opinion, unless he's a sort of one of the sort of better end traders to get you sort of he'll always cut you a deal. But then again, all of the traders at Revival, they're all fantastic. They're all really, really good. I mean, if you go to Dana's sort of video, you'll see who's who. I just know faces. I'm not even very good with names, but I always go there. I always say hello to everyone, and everyone's always great. They'll always cut you a deal. And they're all they're basically gamers, aren't they? They're gamers like you and me. So when they see the excitement and a fellow collectors wanting to get some, they sort them out. Because I remember that's how they all start out, and they all start with their collections and getting what they want, and then obviously through that you pick up extra stuff, and then you trade the extra stuff or swap the extra stuff or sell the extra stuff to get what you want in your collection, don't you? And that's how everyone starts out. So, yeah, thanks again, Nick at Vintage Gamer, and all the traders and at Revival, and everyone at Revival was absolutely fantastic. like I say, I'm really sorry if I seemed a little bit off to some people. I just was sort of really suffering with my back. I actually took some of my painkillers, which I'm supposed to be on all the time, but I don't take them all the time. But I had to take them over that weekend because I was in quite substantial pain with my back. But even though I was I was suffering, I still had a great weekend. Absolutely superb. I'll always say, for me, Revival's the only UK event. The plays. We go to play Blackpool, don't we? We go to play Blackpool. Do we go there to play Blackpool? No, we go there for the jolly, to meet up with everyone and the social. Half the people don't even go in to play Blackpool. Play Manchester's not too bad, but again, it's still not got the. It's like Revival's got a soul. It's like living and breathing retro and community. Whereas I feel like the plays are very sort of static and money driven. There's good and cool stuff there. But you're part of the community, like you really in Revival. You really are part of the community, like Craig knows who I am. I was blown away when I was Big Mike without further ado retro. Like, how do you know who I am? I'm just a small tiny channel, and he really does take the time and the effort to get involved with all angles of the community. When I went to Swag, Craig was there. Craig was at Swag. He knew all the guys at Swag, and he spent come across and spoke to me for a good sort of 45 minutes to an hour, just me and him chatting and having a laugh, and with Paul as well. It was really to sort of go above and beyond. And again, he's a retro gamer, isn't he? He's retro gamer, modern gamer, arcade player, arcade builder. So he's one of your own, isn't he? So you can't go wrong. For me, Revival's the best event in the UK, hands down. Nothing even comes close to it. So yeah. So so let's move on from Revival. Like I say, fantastic time. Everyone's there. Everyone's out. Like, it was great. Everyone was just fantastic. We all had a good time. And I just can't wait for the next one. It really was. It was a good. Well, it was a great weekend. It was a great weekend. So, right. So let's move on to some eBay pickups. Cheers. Right. So now some eBay pickups. Some of these ain't so. Well, the first ones aren't so exciting. I don't think. Well, some of them are very exciting anyway, but. They were exciting to me. They might not be exciting to you. I don't know. So the first one, again, game I don't own in the Spectrum Plus 3. It's Nigel Mansell's. Disc only. Don't think I paid a lot for this. Probably around the sort of £5 mark delivered. Maybe a bit less. Maybe a bit more. I'm not sure. It's been quite a long time ago. The next one. I already do own this. But it's always good to have a spare backup, So it's a We Are the Champions collection by Ocean, and this includes IK Plus, Renegade, Barbarian Parts 1 and 2, Rampage and Super Sprint. So that is a great little collection there. That's a really good solid collection of games there. Some really good stuff there. So really chuffed to get that. And this is, I actually bought this for another reason, but this is about as close as I've come to owning a copy of Moonstone so far. So it is Moonstone Demo. So Steve's laughing now with his 3 copies. I think he's actually sold one. He's only got 2. Dibs on that second one, Steve. So yeah, Moonstone. But the reason I bought this, it wasn't for Moonstone. I don't know if many people in Amiga remember. I don't know if you can see there. This has RSI Demo Maker on it. And we used to tinker with RSI Demo Maker back in the day, and I've actually got an idea of. I mean, I haven't used this in 20 years. I don't think so. It might be a bit of a stretch, but I've sort of a bit of an idea of maybe doing a sort of intro for my channel using the Amiga and RSI Demo Maker. It might just be one massive disaster waiting to happen, but I thought we'll give it a go. Show a bit of enthusiasm. See if we can get something going, see if we can get it doing something. So it's been quite interesting. I used to love tinkering with this and making little demos back in the day. Nowadays, I probably won't have a clue. So, but if we can get something going, maybe a bit of scrolling text, doing a few swirls and stuff, and maybe an original track by another fellow YouTuber, possibly in the pipe works. So, who knows? But we're gonna give it a go. So nice to have RSI Demo Maker back in the collection, and also I can play Moonstone, the demo. So that's as close as I got to owning one at the moment. Right, the next lot is these were three games in a bundle. I believe I picked this bundle up for less than £10, which isn't too bad. I'm probably going to get rid of the first 2 games because they're not really my cup of tea. So the first one is, well, I said not my cup of tea. I haven't played them. Lombard Rally, yes, Lombard Rally or Lombard RAC Rally. I've got a feeling I have played this one. It wasn't great from what I remember, but it's part of the hit squads. But really, for the price I paid for all 3 of these, usually you'd pay more for the one that I was after. So another game I haven't played. I very much doubt it's any good. But who knows, I could be pleasantly surprised. And that is Twin Turbos on the Amiga by Players, or it's Player's Choice or whatever. So if you can see there, it doesn't look that impressive. But who knows, I could be pleasantly surprised. I doubt it, you know. And the game that I sort of did want the whole bundle for, it's not supposed to be that good on Amiga, but it is one of my sort of favourite games on the Spectrum, or one of them, you know, one of the games worth playing on the Spectrum. This is on the Amiga. I don't have it on the Amiga, and it is Renegade. So Renegade on the Amiga, on Hit Squad, and it actually looks okay there. But if I remember, I played it on me WHD load, and it wasn't very good at all. One of the games that you can say is definitely better on the Spectrum than on the Amiga. Not many games you can say that about, really, but that's one of them. So, yeah, Renegade. So, really, really chuffed to get that. So, you know, for 10 quid for all of those, I'll get rid of the other 2 in a bundle or something. And, yeah, so chuffed to get that. Right, next, well, the final few games that we've got, if I can get them. Right, this one was... bit of a boo-boo, but not too much, really. It's just, I believe, I was under the impression it was a steel tin. It said something not steel tin, but I believe this only cost me like £2, which is the steel sort of tin for Odin Sphere. So I put like £1.50 in it. It's like £1.28 delivery or something, which is, like I say, it's a steel tin sort of release. Looks pretty cool, but it's not actually a steel tin. It's actually, you put the actual game inside. So it's like a cover, like a slide cover. But even so, for like less than £3, £2.50, you know, it's pretty funky, innit? And I'll get the game and I'll stick it in there. So that's pretty cool. Some really funky sort of Japanese style artwork there. And, you know, for, like I say, less than £3, I'll take it all day long. So, the next ones... another one I managed to pick up pretty cool. I haven't taken out their cellophane packaging that they've done, but this one's quite hard. In fact, let's get it out. Let's get it out now. Let's set it free, so to speak. Yeah, they sort of wrapped it in cellophane, which is handy because, you know, it stops it from getting knocked about and stuff. This is part of a set that I'm going for on the Amiga. This one you don't really see that often. This is sort of harder to come by, and I have missed out on this one quite a few times for like 15-20 quid, and it is Body Blows, the small box edition. You don't really see this. I've got the big box edition a couple of times, the special edition and the normal edition, but you don't see this that often. So like I said, I've lost out on this one for 15-20 quid quite a few times, and the box is in the wrong way. So yeah, I've missed out on this quite a few times, and but this one I won for less than a tenner. I think it's about £7 I think I won this for, £7 or £8. So yeah, so Body Blows, really cool. in a small box, and I believe I've nearly got most of these, all the small boxes now. This was one of the sort of harder ones to get, so chuffed to get that. So that's really, really cool. And last but by no means least is another Amiga game. I do actually own this Amiga game. I remember it being really cool. But one thing I don't own it in is sealed Amiga games. Alcatraz. What year was this? You got a copyright on this at all? I can't see a year. But it's bound to have been sealed for like 20 years plus. 1990. So is that 30 years? Yeah, 30 years. This game's been sealed for 30 years. Which is incredible, isn't it? It's sealed for 30 years. Yeah, and it's absolutely fantastic condition. Well, it's brand new and it's sealed. You can't get any better than sealed, really, can you? But it's a sealed Amiga game. And this is crazy because I've got this. I've got it, like you say, open, obviously opened. But this usually is sort of like 15, 20 quid. And I managed to pick this up sealed for about 8 quid. So, sealed Amiga games, I think it's between £8 and £10. Sealed Amiga games between £8 and £10. I'm going to pick them up all day long. Do you know what I mean? Sealed for 30 years this has been sealed. You know? It's just crazy, isn't it? It's like absolutely madness. Absolute madness. Right. Sorry if this video seemed a bit sort of, you know, a bit of stop and start. I've sort of lost me flow a little bit with the old videos. Like I say, shout out to everyone who was at Revival. Shout out to everyone at the moment. The world's gone crazy with COVID-19. You know, I don't know what's going on. I think you have to respect other people. You got to keep you know, the social distancing, respect other people. You know, try and be as clean as you can. You know, wash your hands. You know, keep clean, disinfectant and all that. You know, the wipes, the wet wipes, and you know, the country's gone mad on toilet roll. Which is apparently one of the only products we wouldn't ever run out of because it's made by several countries, whereas you know, a lot of the things are made, like especially electronics and things like that, are made in China. So the world's got, well, England's gone mad for toilet roll for some reason. So, but yeah, it's there's certainly things going on out there. I think there's a lot more than, but like Transformers, more than meets the eye. But like I say, you've got to respect other people, give it the old social distance and try not to go out if you don't have to. Like I say, shout out to everyone who was at Revival. You all know who you are. You know, everyone knows this. I do a long list. I'm sort of just out of touch with doing videos. So, but I'm going to be making a lot more videos. I've got like 2 or 3 videos in the pipeline to do. There's another pickups to do. I'll be doing some stuff on Spectrum next. Yeah, so like I say, we've been watching Dana does streams from 8 till 10 most evenings. I believe he has Wednesdays and Sundays off. I could be wrong on that, so always tune into Dana's channel between 8 o'clock, and you should get a stream. I'm not sure which days he has off. Me and Old School are on the first edition. He gets everyone on there. So it's really sort of good. It's sort of really something to sort of look forward to in an evening when everyone's stressing out. They can't go out. They're looking for things to do. I just watched myself. I just watched a film. If you're interested in the boxing, I just watched a film called Mr. Kawasaki, which is about Joe Kawasaki. Personally, my favourite boxer to ever come out of the UK. 45 fights undefeated, retired champion and undefeated from Wales. Absolutely legendary fighter. What absolutely brilliant fighter. I used to like Joe Kawasaki back in the day and Prince Naseem, but I've just watched the Joe Kawasaki documentary. Mr. Kawasaki on Amazon. It's free. It's part of Prime, so if you want to go and check that out, go and have a look at that. It's pretty cool. I've just gone and watched the old another old classic, which I've just watched it on Amazon again. It's free on Amazon. On Amazon, it's called Lionheart, but in the UK, I don't know if you remember, but when I was a kid, it was called AWOL, Absent Without Leave, which is pretty cheesy, Jean-Claude Van Damme, you know, martial arty film, like, you know, tournament-y thing, but it's good. It's sort of, you know, it's like sort of 80s feel back. I've gone back to watching and restarting Cobra Kai again, We were supposed to be getting the third season around about now. It is finished. Apparently, they're doing a few things in production, a few touch-ups and things, but they're not going to release it yet. Hopefully, they'll drop it on us soon. The event I was going to in July has been cancelled. I was going to a sort of a bit of a rave, a bit of a rave in July, but that's been cancelled. So, like I say, at the moment, the one thing we can all look forward to, which is fingers crossed at the moment, is still on. Will be revival in November at the moment, as far as we're aware. We don't know how long this is going to go on for, but like I say, everyone just stay safe. Remember to respect other people, given their social distancing, and you know what more can we do? You know, just try and look out for each other, be decent people, and respect each other. Right, there's a public service announcement, and I'll see you again. Cheers.
But first, wash your handies! Yeah! Wash your handies! Wash your space goods, kids! Wash your handies! Wash your handies! Wash your handies!